Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Weights and Measures. I'm just going to get right to it because in south central Pennsylvania we're going to get a big snowstorm and I want to get this over with quick because I got some preliminary stuff before that I got to get taken care of. So we're going to be making a beef pot roast with potatoes and carrots. I'm going to pan sear it in the cast iron skillet, throw it in the crock pot on low, and let that cook while I get all my other stuff done. So I wanted to give a shout out to Stony Point Farms for delicious beef. And we're going to be using Kerrygold grass-fed butter, and we're going to be using the Celtic sea salt because that's literally all I use now. So what I do is I cut up little slits into the roast, and I'm going to put minced garlic inside of it. On both sides. Pretty heavy coating of this Celtic sea salt. Pepper on that side. Flip it over. Same thing. S&P is the choice for me. I think everybody recites that when they cook red meat now. Thanks, Letterkenny. And you want to be sure to get the sides too. So I got my cast iron skillet nice and hot with the butter in there. And I'm just going to sear both sides. Sear in them juices. There will not be any beef broth in this. It'll just simply be what we cook, the au jus and the seasonings that we put on there, plus the taste of the potatoes and the carrots. That's why I went with the grass-fed butter. I've heard a lot of good things about it, and Kerrygold does a great job. It's delicious. Start putting this stuff away a while. I say sear, but actually I'm going to cook it a little bit on both sides. I'm going to cook it for about 2 minutes both sides, and then put the contents of the pan, the meat and the juices, right into the crock pot. So I'm going to turn the crock pot on high for 2 hours with just the roast in there. And then after the 2 hour mark is when I'm going to put the potatoes and carrots in, and I'm put it on low for another 2 hours. So 4 hours in the crock pot. After you sear it in here, it's going to be delicious. It's going to fall apart. Everything's going to kind of flow together. And I don't add anything else. Now I would sometimes put like some rosemary leaves on top, maybe some parsley in there, but I don't really have a need to. I like it this way. Super simple, super easy. You got your good fats, protein, carbohydrates, minerals, and from the carrots, and super easy. I don't make anything difficult. Unless you ask my wife, then I probably make everything difficult. I did put a half a cup of water in the crock pot ahead of time. I don't know if I said that or not. And that's all it's going to be in there. So I'm actually done with that now. I would like to see it pretty brown, a nice crust on both ends, but I'm content with how it is now. So that's it. Like I said, I'm gonna put it on high for 2 hours, come back, throw my potatoes and carrots in, put it on low for 2 more hours, and it's gonna fall apart. Thanks, everyone. So 2.5 hours later, we are sitting beautifully, and now I'm gonna put in the potatoes and the carrots. It's still a little tough. So we're gonna keep cooking it, like I said, for 2 hours. Make sure they're all kind of submerged. Around the roast. Actually, just pick the roast up and put them right on top. Put it back on. Again for another 2 hours. And that is the finished product. Everything is done perfectly. Super tender. And it didn't take too long. Just kind of put it into the crock pot. There's the finished product.